Do you need help adding employees in Gusto? In today's video, I'm going to walk you through, give you a full tutorial on the process. So join me and let's learn together. Hey everybody, I'm Brandon Gustafson. I own and operate 2 assisted living facilities, and I created this channel to help people just like you learn the ins and outs of investing in assisted living. Welcome to Assisted Living Investing. Everybody, welcome back to the channel. In my last video, I talked about how to add a company in Gusto. I'll give you a full tutorial of that. So if you're new to Gusto, make sure you go and watch that video and learn the process of how you can set up your company in Gusto. In today's video, I'm going to get into how you can add an employee in Gusto. I'll give you kind of a full tutorial on what that process is like so that you know what you're doing, what you're getting into, and can help you kind of start adding in those employees. So we'll get into that here in just a second. Before we jump over to the tutorial though, make sure you sign up for a free account with Gusto using the referral link below. I'll link it down in the bio. That way you can kind of get a free trial with Gusto. And if you do that, I'll get a kickback with a Visa gift card, but so will you. So make sure you do that. It's a pretty cool perk and it's just a free trial. So you don't have anything to lose. Give it a shot and see if it works for you. Let's get into the tutorial. Let's jump into the tutorial now. So the first thing you need to do is make sure you log in. So go to gusto.com and you're going to click on sign in. What you're going to do is, click in to log in where you need to log into. From here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on people and we're going to go down here into the hire and onboard button right here. So we'll go to hire and onboard and we're going to hire a new person. So all of these people right here. So we're going to click over here and do this hire a new person right here on that button. Now there's a few different options in here that you need to kind of be aware of. First is I'm going to start right here, actually import. So if you are using a different payroll system or something like that and you're bringing in all of your employees, you can import them here using a CSV, or I think you can actually connect them and they'll import it in for you that way. So if I click on to import, there's a few different ways that you can do this. So you can connect ATS, import candidates, seamlessly onboard. There's a lot of different features that you can look at here in getting people onboarded. I'm not going to get into that because I've never done this portion of it. If you're a big enough company looking at Gusto, then kudos to you. I would probably reach out to Gusto and ask them for some assistance on getting you up and running, getting you in place for what you need to do. An international contractor is basically a contractor that works in a different country, and so you can kind of pay them through your payroll vendor if that's what you'd like to do. A contractor right here. So this is a person that is going to provide a service. So if you're hiring a consultant, which I'm going to talk about in a future video, I'll link that up above. If you're hiring a consultant, this is kind of where you would do it. Or if you're hiring a contractor or you're hiring somebody to do maintenance work for you or something like that, this is where you would add them. You come in here, you would click on individual or you'd click on business. Then you're going to put in their names, this information, who's going to report, who they're going to report to. If you have departments in your business, you can do that. You can do a start date here. If you're paying them an hourly rate or a fixed dollar amount, you can put in that information. And then if you put in their personal email address, then they can come in and they can access their 1099 forms for taxes, is basically what you can do there. Contractor, I've actually used this a few times. It's a useful tool to bring your contractors in here, have them be a 1099 employee. You don't have to pay as many taxes on it. That's a little bit of a better process for you. So it's something that you probably should look at doing if you're looking at bringing in a consultant or you need to bring in a contractor or something else. This is an awesome option. Okay, so I'm going to go back though. We're going to focus a lot of time. We're going to say yes to proceed. We don't need to worry about this. We're going to hire a new employee. So this is what I think you probably came here for. The other information in there is really good, but employees is what you're going to have a lot of. In assisted living, there's a lot of turnover that you're going to be dealing with. So we click on employee, and in a cool world, it works for us. I'm going to click on employee. Oh, here it is. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so we've clicked on employee, and down here, there are additional hiring options. So if you have an offer letter that you've created and Gusto can help you out with this, you can click on this option to send an offer letter. I'm not going to get into offer letters in this video. I might do it in a future video, but today we're not going to do it. So I'm going to leave that unchecked, and down here, we're going to hit continue. And then from here, we're just going to put in their information. So we're going to say John, we'll leave middle initial empty, and we'll say go. Start date is going to be on the 28th of February. We don't have a department, so we're just going to leave it blank. But you could, whatever department you have, your manager. So I could, go down, find my administrator, click that person. That's who the manager is going to be. And then I'm going to click on and create, I would click on the location that I want to look at. And, so I have clicked on that right there. Now I'm going to click on what's that job title. So we're just going to call them a caregiver for this position. We're going to say they're paid by the hour, and we're paying them let's just say $20 an hour for a quick, easy round number. We're going to put this per hour. So if we wanted to put this as a salaried person, a salary with overtime or no overtime, we can put it in there, and we could put in, $50,000 per year. We can put something in there. So we can adjust the different types of salary, which are salary no overtime just means this is it. This is what they get paid. Doesn't matter how much they work. That's what it is. Salary eligible for overtime. This is typically what we do our administrators as. They get a base salary, and then they get paid extra for any work that they have to do as a caregiver. If we're doing an hourly pay, this is what we do for a lot of our caregivers and medtechs and QMAPs and all of that good stuff. We put them as a paid by hour. If it's an owner's draw, that's something I'm paying to myself. I typically don't do this in a payroll system. I will do that just through our bank, and then we'll just track it in our QuickBooks and do it there. And then if I have commission people, I could do this. If I have salespeople or something like that, I could put it in there. We don't deal with commission in assisted living, and I'm not familiar with it, so I'm not going to talk a lot about it. Okay, so we're going to put in their employment status, and we could just put in, I typically will do full-time unless we know it's a part-time person, and then we'll adjust those things in there. But full-time, part-time, 24 to 29 hours, which is really specific. I'd probably steer clear of that. And I think being this flexible, 30 plus hours a week, it's not a set time. That's probably the best way to do this. Variable hours is also not a horrible idea. It kind of gives you a lot of flexibility in how to do this. And you could also just do a seasonal if you were, if you had to hire a lot of people over a Christmas break or something like that, you could do that. And this is tax exemption status. So, are they exempt for any reason? Most often it's going to just be no, they're not tax exempt. So we're going to go ahead and click select. Let's click full-time here, save and continue. We'll put that in there, and then it gives us to this next information right here. So it's going to allow us to really start getting in here and putting this information in for John Doe. So we can put in, when are we going to do some performance reviews? We're going to add John to the payroll, and it gives us a timeline. We need to do this in 5 days. We need to do this in 6 days. Reviewing that PTO policy, the manager is the one that's going to be doing that. We're going to create a profile for John. John can go in and he can add a lot of this information in here and start doing things. I can add tasks. If I have an onboarding process, you got to review XYZ thing. John can go in there and say, yep, I did it. So if it's reviewing different rules and regulations or getting CPR certified or something like that, it's okay, here's the processes. Let's get this going. Let's put it in place. And they can go in and start checking these things off, which is really, really helpful. So that's how you add an employee in Gusto. I hope that tutorial was helpful for you. All right, everybody, thanks for watching the tutorial. I hope that was helpful for you and helping you get that employee set up in Gusto. I hope you were able to learn things and kind of walk yourself through it and get everything up to date. Really, as you can see, it's not a hard process. Gusto has things pretty streamlined, but I want to make sure that you have the resources you need to make sure that you're comfortable with it. And then if you have questions or anything like that, make sure you reach out to me on assistedlivinginvesting.net, and we can have a conversation. I can help you walk you through that process a little bit more. Next time, in my next video, we're going to get into how you run payroll in Gusto and give you a full tutorial on that process. Learn more about investing in assisted living. Make sure you visit me on assistedlivinginvesting.net. I've got free resources up there. I'm going to be putting a blog in there, and you can also set up a consulting call with me, and we can have a chat and help you kind of through this process of getting things up and running, and with your payroll vendor, with Gusto specifically, and how I can help you through that process. And don't forget, always remember that if you just keep making progress a little bit at a time, step by step by step, I promise you that you're going to be successful. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.